Atlanta's been a city of great growth, and it continues to have great growth. And you ask yourself, why? And, you know, the old real estate thing about location, location, location. It fits. Atlanta in the southeast is just a little bit, almost under Chicago. And the radius around Atlanta is such that we are now developing the fastest growing region in the United States. And with our airport, of course, being the world's largest, it didn't happen just because, you know, we want an airport here, which reminds me, and I'll digress a minute, to Mayor Hartsfield, who used to say, you know, we're going to be a world's largest airport. And we'd say, Bill, you can't say that. You can't go. I mean, that makes us look a little ridiculous. And Bill says, oh yeah, we could say that, and then we have to work like hell to prove that we're not liars. So, but the attitude in Atlanta was really great. And the whole feeling about Atlanta has always been positive. And so as we move forward, I think we still have that attitude. We still have, and we have the growing part, which is continuing and even increasing in some ways, increasing faster. I began to realize Atlanta's international potential with the development of the Merchandise Mart, which we opened in 1961. This led to the awareness of the world as trade, and beginning to get the international. It just so happened in 1961 that the dedication of Brasilia was being held. And a local real estate guy by the name of Yule Pope and I went down to the dedication of Brasilia, which was the largest city ever built from scratch. Kubitschek, in Brazil, everybody lived on the shore. And Brazil's a big country, and Kubitschek wanted to build this Brasilia in the center of the country and build these major roads in there to come in and get and be able to capitalize and develop the country of Brazil. And we went down there, and I was really turned on from what needs to be done from the standpoint of a city, and taking a larger vision of things instead of being just an isolated office building, or you do this or you do that, you know. And so from that Brasilia experience, I also went to Scandinavia, and I studied in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. They had started building satellite cities, and I learned a lot from what was happening in Scandinavia and how they were making their cities more human, and how they were putting things together in such a way that it not only functioned, but it added to the enhancement of life. And so those experiences, and while all this is going on, coming back to Atlanta and realizing that we're building the Merchandise Mart at the corner of Peachtree and Harris, which is 1 million square feet, the largest building in the southeast part of the United States. I had said, well, you know, how can we not be concerned about what happens up and down the block and across the way? And why can't we start, you know, thinking bigger? And so that's how Peachtree Center started evolving, and we started collecting land and taking 99-year ground leases all over the place, which if they'd called on us, we probably couldn't have paid for. But But it was that kind of thing, and the development of the merchandise mart was really the key, the central key to so many things. I became the honorary consul of Denmark in 1967 and served in that position for 27 years. And while consul, I developed which some of you in here are old enough to remember, the Midnight Sun restaurant, and brought over 49 Danes to make it a really genuine, legitimate Scandinavian restaurant. And so that was a hell of an experience. And at that time, in the development of Peachtree Center, I thought as we grow internationally, we should figure out how to create a critical mass so that the public and the community and everybody is aware that we are international. And so I tried to get all of the consuls at that time to come into Peachtree Center to build a critical mass, and we had the consul corps meetings in the Midnight Sun in the early days, and Louise Suggs, who was the Grand Dame, she did a hell of a job, and but we were struggling and trying to establish ourselves. We were the new kids on the block, and we were a city that was moving. We were moving as fast as China has moved in the last 20 years. If you think about where Atlanta's been and where it is now and where it's going, I mean, it's mind-boggling. And I wish I was 20 years younger. I could, maybe do something else. But as Atlanta grew in the 70s, and we became really more sensitive to what was causing all this growth and everything about it, we also became more convinced that the future was global. The future is global. When Deng Xiaoping came here, President Carter was responsible for bringing him here, and this was in 1979. This is before the opening of China, before all that. And he came here, and we put him up on top of the Peachtree Plaza, as AJ said, and we had a dinner out at the governor's mansion, and Dong invited the governor to bring a delegation to China. And so I was lucky enough to be part of the delegation that went to China in 1979. And from that, they put me with, when you go on these delegations, what they do is they put you with the guy that whatever you're interested in, or they think you're interested in, your counterpart. And so they put me with the Minister of Tourism back in those days, because I built hotels and I did that sort of. Anyway, they gave me 13 sites in China to build hotels, and a lot of stuff. But we got interested in China, and of course, we've been there for a long, long time now, and we opened the first multi-use project in China in Shanghai, at Shanghai Center, which is now historically landmarked and is considered one of the 5 greatest projects in China. And we have an office in Shanghai Center today, and to tell you that the world is going to be global, and it's going to be more and more global, and it's never going back the other way. So you might as well get with it.